Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We are so excited to welcome on #Wealth Wednesday the founder of Relationship AI, a new app that is really revolutionizing relationships. Karinna, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much. It's a delight to be here with you guys.
So what was the genesis for this app?
So it all began, it's been an inspiration for over 20 years. I had the good fortune from a teenager to live and work all over the world as an international model, and then subsequently as a relationship expert and entrepreneur. And I became fascinated with how people related to each other in different cultures, and then started to study the history of the relationships, how they developed, and the dynamics in different places. So I had an inspiration 20 years ago to come back to the U.S. and to make it my work to empower women and men in creating better relationships and shared power.
Wow. So we want to know this. First of all, you brought some figs and passion fruit, which is so great for the topic of discussion. So take us through it. So how is this app going to help us build a relationship?
So Relationship AI is focused on helping you date smarter, because today's daters they're amazing, they're savvy, they're active, and they're spending roughly about 10 hours a week on 3 to 7 apps at one time.
Wow.
Yes.
Multiple swiping.
Yeah.
Not multiple dating, just multiple swiping.
Yes, and so what we want to do is cut through some of that fatigue, that psychological exhaustion, and help people move faster into better decision making and the outcomes that daters want, which is to form successful bonds. And so that's what Relationship AI does. You've heard of tracking your steps. You may have Fitbit.
Yeah.
Well, this helps you track your dating life.
But what if you're dating wrong? Like, what if you are swiping on the people who really aren't for you? Then how is Relationship AI kind of outsmarting your wrong swiping? Does that make sense?
Oh, that's a great question. So what we do is we help you evaluate all that's happening in your active dating life. And you can see it in real time. Instead of thinking about it myopically in your head, like, oh, this is going well, this isn't going well. No, you get to visibly see what's happening.
So that can be like, you're a sport dater, or like you're delusional. You have a terrible picker. Like, what's it going to tell us?
It will tell you so many things about how things are going that you may be thinking about, but you don't actually catalog your deal breakers. Like if somebody doesn't, contact you for 5 days or 6 days and you're like, what's going on here? But they contact you on the 7th day and you're like, okay, that's fine. And so for some people that's a deal breaker. For others, it's totally okay. But you get to evaluate what that is for you. And so it's very personalized. It's very sensitive to you and what your core objectives are for creating a meaningful relationship life.
That'd be good to know, right?
Yes.
If you're dating someone, could you do the AI after you get off the dating app? Like, it'd be nice to know what somebody's typical thing.
So if you're in your first, second, or third year of dating, this also can absolutely help you in maturing your relationship and starting to evaluate where it's going well. I've been married for over 13 years, so I'm very sensitive to maturing relationships, how they go well or go off track. And so this allows you to visibly say, oh, wow, we need to pay more attention here, versus like, oh, we're putting a lot of attention over here and maybe we need to balance it out.
Typically with your clients, where do they need to spend more of their time, effort, energy in the relationship?
In self-awareness.
Preach.
Self-awareness. I think we're at a pivotal moment in history in terms of relationship development.
Totally.
And, we're at once more connected and sometimes feel more alone than ever. And so there's a ripeness for evolution. There's a ripeness for something more meaningful, something more fulfilling, and self-awareness is a core factor in really making that an actualized experience. And so that's how we utilize AI.
I think also, I'm curious because I'm obsessed. I like interview my friends who have had long-term marriages and long-term relationships.
Yes.
And I would say the number one factor that I find is that people just stick to it. Like, it's not easy. You go through walls, you go whatever. And I'm not about someone staying in something that's dysfunctional or doesn't really have them thrive. But do you find that that's one of the core factors?
Well, I think relationships are as good as both partners' conscious awareness and their ability to stay on the journey, like you're speaking to, their ability to stay on the journey and thrive. Because all human beings and all couples go through things like every day, every month, every year. And so you have to have the aptitude, the skill set for actually making that a really thriving experience for yourselves. And so it has to do with your consciousness.
For sure,
You guys
100%, of course. Yeah.
You know,
Really? It comes to the consciousness again? Oh my gosh.
could you describe a little, because I don't think everybody's familiar, and we may not always agree about what it means to be self-aware, to be conscious. What does that mean, and how would you describe or define that?
Sure. Well, first of all, it starts from that place of being able to go inside and be quiet, to quiet that chattering mind. That's the first way we start to gain awareness, because when our mind is chattering, we think life is happening to us instead of it coming from the inside. And so I love Tony Robbins' quote, "Life is not happening to us, life is happening for us."
Amen.
Amen. Yeah.
And so what's happening for us is our cue to go deeper. If it's something not working out, we have to be able to go inside and open up our perceptions. And I think that's one of the key factors in actually dating smarter, is that you're able to open up your mind and see things differently than just your own experience or your own relationship, like role model experience, and see something completely new. And I think that's what gives people
Totally.
love that.
Open your mind to get relationship AI. Please tell everyone where they can follow you and get the app.
Relationship-ai.com. We will be testing in the next week or so, and coming out this fall. And you can reach me at Karinna Karsten on Instagram and at Real Love TV on all social media.
So good.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Stay tuned.